And by the way, one other thing, Jordan, you can't take him. But I can. Not in 100 years. And not would I ever try either. But I tell you what I would do. In my administration, there would be room for a Secretary of Defense named Chuck Norris. Well, I want to again say thanks for coming out. I know it's the middle of an afternoon, and a lot of students here from Baylor. How many Baylor students do we have here? All right. Okay. Now, if you're a Baylor student, for just a moment, hold your hand, keep it in the air. All Baylor students who are here, who should be somewhere studying, keep your hand. There you go. That's what I thought. Now, what I think is that you should have extra points for being here today. And if Baylor is half the school that I think it is, every professor that you have will certainly say, if you were at that Huckabee rally, you definitely deserve extra points for coming. You may quote me on that. In fact, I want you to quote me on that. Since you've got your cell phone pointed at me, you probably are quoting me on that. Let me tell you why this election is so important. Everybody in America is going to be seeing what happens in Texas Tuesday. Most of them assume that the real race is between Hillary and Obama. And what they think is that the Republicans have already decided. Now, I know that's not the case because we have won in states that are critical to a Republican winning in November. We've won in states like Kansas and Louisiana and Georgia and Alabama. We've won in Iowa. We've won in Tennessee and Arkansas and West Virginia. We've won in states that you have to win in order to become the nominee of the party. And I know that some of the reporters nationally and sitting in their little desk in Washington will say, well, let's look at the math. Let's look at the math. Interesting thing about the math is no two television networks even have the same numbers for how many delegates have been obtained by either Senator McCain or by me. If it's such a perfecting absolute science, how come no one's numbers match up? But here's the number. Until someone has 1,191 delegates, we don't have a nominee yet. And if we don't have someone who has those delegates by the time of the convention decides. And this party has historically been a strong party and wins elections when we hold fast to our conservative principles that believe that lower taxes are better than higher taxes, less government is better than more government, limited government is better than unlimited government, local government is better than Washington government, mothers and fathers raise kids better than governments do. Those are the principles that Republicans win with. And those are the principles which I run on. I'm the only guy in this race who does not have a Washington address. The only guy who does have chief executive experience, who's actually run something, especially run something like a government, which is what a president has to do. If you're satisfied with what Washington has been doing to resolve the problems of this country, you've got plenty of choices because everybody else has been in Washington helping to make the mess that we're trying to fix. Now, there's a basic difference between me and some people running. Some people believe that it's the government's job to fix us. I think it's our job to fix the government, and that's what an election's supposed to be.